Jason, it was quite a story. So we had some allegations of local vendors in the Norfolk, Virginia area bribing government officials for business. The usual bribery kickback scheme, and started doing some document review and led us to a couple of vendors. One in particular who was initially a little bit hesitant, ultimately decided to cooperate. Really went through a lot of stress in his life. I think he dropped 50 pounds while he was working with us.
Oh my God.
And it was that part of it was good, I guess, for his overall health. And then we were targeting a particular owner of a local business, and so our cooperating witness also agreed to put on a body recorder. He had it taped on his shirt, just below his collar, and went into the office with the vendor that we were targeting, and the vendor said, "I'm kind of concerned about talking. Can we go outside?" So the two of them walk outside 50 yards from the office, and the vendor leans into the microphone right below the shirt and speaks very clearly. So we were lucky to have the recorder in the right place at that time. And yet the vendor still didn't cooperate. So we went to trial, and we had eyewitnesses, we had documents, and ultimately the vendor, right before trial started, all of a sudden we got the notice that he was unwell and he had checked himself into the local hospital. And and the prosecutor said, "Well, I'm not sure when the trial is going to start because it sounds like he's got heart issues." Well, coincidentally, my wife had just taken a job as the head nurse in the cardiac care unit at that same hospital.
Oh, boy.
And so she came home that night. She said, is he part of the trial that you're starting? I said, yeah, he's the key suspect. And she said, yeah, he's fine. He'll be out of here in a couple of days. So you can tell the prosecutor to go ahead with their plans. And so lo and behold, we started the trial the next week, and he was found guilty of bribes and got 7 years. And the guy was 63 years old at the time. So it was some good Southern justice, if you will, back in the day.
Now, I'm sorry to interrupt you, Jack. I mean, is that like a common thing that you just have a lot of people back in the day wearing wires? I mean, you see all these televisions like, oh, show me, pull up your shirt, show me what's going on. Was that like a common practice of the FBI?
Well, it was a common technique the FBI used, and the issue was that when you have white-collar criminals, those are people many times who are basically honest people, but they've just found themselves in a set of circumstances where they've broken the law and they've been caught. And so those people, by and large, have a desire to do the right thing, make things right, and try to do the best deal for themselves. So a lot of those people cooperate, as opposed to when you see on TV the informants. The informants tend to be people who commit more than one crime, and they do things on an ongoing basis, and they're of more value to the government that way. But in white-collar crimes, they're more witnesses than they are informants. And
right. So how did you guys find out about this? Was it like a whistleblower that kind of went, or did you kind of catch someone, or just like reviewing the documents? Like, how'd you even like kind of catch on to this whole thing?
It usually starts with someone, in this case, another vendor who wasn't getting any business from the government. So it's the vendors competing against the other vendors, and they're always getting squeezed out of the business. And they said, hey, something's going on here, or, we keep giving great bids for government work and we're not getting anything. And so in that case, from that allegation leads to some document review. You figure out who's getting the business, and then you go from there and you start doing some interviews.
So did this case, also the politician get charged too then?
So the government employee in the second trial was charged. Government employee went to trial, and believe it or not, he was found not guilty.
Oh, wow.
And because he created a number of fictitious receipts for all the different goods and services that he had received from the vendors. Even though one of the receipts was dated February 29th in a year where there was no leap year.
Oh my goodness. And
So
so what was the total amount of kickbacks that you guys even uncovered?
it was, I think, in the range of $50,000. I mean, it wasn't a lot of money,
Sure.
but there's an old adage in the FBI: there's no degree of fraud against the government. Doesn't matter what the amount is. It just depends on what's happened.
And that could just be the amount that you guys uncovered, right? I mean, there could have been a lot more stuff going on throughout the years and with other vendors.
Or if we hadn't gotten involved then, it could have developed, for a long time to come after.
So, Jack, I know you got a lot of stories, and we'd love to have you back. But can you let us know a little bit about how Fair Risk Consulting and the type of work you're engaged in now?
Yeah. So Jason, after some FBI time, I went on to become the chief security officer of Fidelity Investments and the chief risk officer of Iron Mountain. And then after that, I thought, what should I do next? And I could work with other companies, and I do work with companies on their security and risk management. But it occurred to me that I have this really kind of deep desire to help individuals. So I've taken those lessons from the FBI and my security days and my risk management days to become, if you will, almost like a chief risk officer for individuals and their families. And the key thing there is managing all the different things that happen in your life. So if you, for example, if you're an individual and you want to take a big chance on taking on a new job where it's something completely different, then you want to balance the other things that you're doing in the rest of your life to be a little bit more secure in case the job thing doesn't work out. So it's understanding how the action you take in one part of your life impacts all the other things. And it's been a great experience. I'm working with people from their mid-20s to their mid-70s, and they're in all stages of their lives, and they have all different types of things to issues to resolve and different things they're trying to plan for. So it's been a really enjoyable journey so far.
Well, Jack, I know the couple of guys that I sent over to you rave about you, could not be happier with your services. But next time, I completely forgot, but next time you come back, I definitely want you to start talking about some of the things that people can, protect themselves against identity fraud. I know that's going on a lot right now. So I hope next time you come back, we can kind of touch upon that.
I'd love to, Jason. Look forward to it.
Sounds good. Talk to you soon.
All right. Thank you.